Welcome to the History and Focus channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one. Marilyn Monroe, an icon of beauty and sensuality, defined the 1950s with films like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. With her platinum blonde hair and unforgettable smile, she became the ultimate symbol of femininity. However, behind the glamour, she faced inner struggles, including issues with alcohol, the weight of fame, and the pressures of Hollywood. Joey Lansing, with her angelic beauty and flawless blonde hair, stood out in the 1950s and 1960s as one of the most fascinating faces of Hollywood's golden era. A star of films and series, she shone in the Beverly Hillbillies and other successes. However, behind the glamour, she faced intense industry pressures for a perfect body, which demanded unrealistic beauty standards. In this photo, with her beauty and enchanting charisma, Jane Mansfield became one of the most iconic blondes of Hollywood in the 1950s and 1960s. Shining in films like The Girl Can't Help It in 1956 and Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter? In 1957, she captivated audiences with her sensuality and humor. Her trajectory, marked by glamour and boldness, ended tragically in 1967, but her legacy continues to fascinate generations. Audrey Hepburn became one of the greatest icons of cinema and fashion with her refined beauty and subtle sensuality. An unforgettable star of classics like Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961 and an Academy Award winner for Roman Holiday in 1953, she captivated generations with her delicate charm, elegant features, and charisma that transformed her into a timeless symbol of femininity and style. Ava Gardner, with her breathtaking beauty and hypnotic gaze, was one of Hollywood's greatest stars of the 1950s and 1960s. She captivated audiences in films like The Barefoot Contessa. Despite the glamour, her personal life was marked by intense passions, including her tumultuous marriage to Frank Sinatra, whom she described as the love of her life. Anita Ekberg, born in Sweden in 1931, gained international fame after winning Miss Sweden in 1950. A star of Italian cinema in the 1960s, she became immortalized in Fellini's La Dolce Vita. A symbol of glamour and exuberant beauty, Anita lived in Italy for decades, becoming an icon of European cinema. Vicky Dugan, known as The Back for her daring backless dresses, was a model and actress who challenged Hollywood's conventional standards during the 1950s and 1960s. Her striking beauty and provocative style made her a symbol of sensuality, standing out in photo shoots that celebrated her unique figure and radiant allure. Although she played smaller roles in films like The Great Man, Vicky's impact extended far beyond the screen. She became a cult figure due to her bold attitude and rejection of industry norms, remaining an icon of independence and irreverent charm that continues to inspire. Tanya Roberts won fans with her stunning beauty and captivating performances in iconic roles. She shone as Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and left her mark as Stacey Sutton in 007, A View to a Kill, becoming a memorable Bond girl. On TV, she enchanted as Julie Rogers in Charlie's Angels. Brigitte Bardot dominated the 1950s and 1960s with her magnetic beauty, starring in iconic films like And God Created Woman in 1956 and Contempt in 1963. In the 1970s, she left her career to dedicate herself to animal protection, founding an organization that would become a global reference. Jacqueline Bisset, with her unparalleled sensuality, shone as one of the great stars of 1970s cinema. A leading actress in films like The Deep in 1977 and The Magnificent in 1973, she became an icon of elegance and charm. Despite her success and her beauty, which attracted countless admirers, Jacqueline declined multiple marriage proposals, choosing to maintain her independence and live life on her own terms. Elizabeth Taylor, with her captivating beauty and unforgettable violet eyes, became one of Hollywood's greatest stars. She shone in iconic films like Cleopatra and Butterfield 8, winning 2 Academy Awards during her career. Beyond her glamorous life, she became a pioneer in the fight against AIDS in the 1980s, raising millions for the cause. Diane McBain captivated the 1960s with her untamed beauty and talent that stood out in both dramas and comedies. In films like Parrish and Claudel English, her performances enchanted audiences and critics alike. Beyond her film career, Diane revealed another passion by becoming a writer, leaving her mark in literature as well. Grace Kelly, with her unparalleled beauty and elegance, was one of the most iconic faces of Hollywood in the 1950s. A star of films like Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, she captivated audiences with her irresistible charm. Surprisingly, she left the film industry at the height of her career to become Princess of Monaco by marrying Prince Rainier III. Sophia Loren, with her unmistakable beauty and sensuality, illuminated Italian and global cinema as one of its greatest stars of all time. She shone in classics like Two Women in 1960, for which she won an Academy Award, and Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow in 1963, showcasing her dramatic talent and irresistible charm. Born in Naples, she overcame a difficult childhood during World War II to become an eternal symbol of elegance and desire. Abby Lane, with her fiery beauty and magnetic presence, became one of the greatest icons of sensuality in the 1950s and 1960s. Her talent shone both in cinema, in films like The Big Circus, and in musical performances. A fascinating fact is that alongside her husband Xavier Cugat, she was a pioneer in popularizing Latin music in the United States. With her natural beauty and delicate features, Jean Shrimpton redefined beauty standards in the 1960s, becoming one of the world's first supermodels. A muse of the miniskirt and a star of campaigns that defined a generation, she embodied the bold spirit of youth. However, at the height of her fame, she surprised everyone by leaving stardom to live a quiet life in the countryside, far from the chaos of civilization. With talent that crossed borders, Danish actress Anne Smyrner became an unforgettable presence in European cinema, shining in classics like The Tiger of Eshnapur and The Indian Tomb. Her unique beauty, combined with her dramatic skill, captivated audiences. After leaving the screen, she surprised many by dedicating herself to writing and painting. Exuding confidence and unmistakable beauty, Sybil Shepherd became a symbol of the 1970s. Through unforgettable performances such as Betsy in Taxi Driver and JC in The Last Picture Show, she charmed critics and audiences with her exuberant presence. Her career successfully extended to television, solidifying her status as one of the most beautiful and talented artists of her generation. Elke Sommer became one of the most notable European actresses of the 1960s and 1970s with her stunning beauty. She shone in productions like The Prize and A Shot in the Dark, charming alongside Hollywood stars. A fascinating curiosity is that Elke was fluent in several languages, including German, English, French, and Italian, which made her highly valued in international productions. In this photo, Gina Lollobrigida radiates the charm that made her a true icon of Italian cinema in the 1950s and 1960s. Shining in films like Bread, Love, and Dreams and The Devil is a Woman, she displayed a unique ability to alternate between light comedies and intense dramas. In the 1990s, she ran for the European Parliament but did not win. Carol Baker, with her striking beauty and seductive gaze, starred in classics like Baby Doll, The Big Country, and The Carpetbaggers, establishing herself as one of Hollywood's great actresses. In the 1970s, she chose to leave the United States and move to Italy, where she reinvented her career in European productions. With her dazzling beauty, Pamela Tiffin quickly stood out as one of Hollywood's most enchanting stars of the 1960s. She shone in films like 1, 2, 3, where her charm and comedic talent won over audiences. At the peak of her career, she surprised many by leaving the United States and continuing her journey in Italian cinema. Yvette Mimieux, with her angelic beauty and delicate features, was one of Hollywood's most memorable stars of the 1960s. She excelled in iconic roles such as Weena in the classic The Time Machine and in the dramatic production Light in the Piazza. A remarkable aspect of her career was her pioneering portrayal of complex and independent women in an era when female roles were often limited. Beyond acting, Yvette became a successful entrepreneur, showcasing her intelligence and talent far beyond the screen. Linda Carter, born on July 24, 1951 in Phoenix, Arizona, became a cultural icon by portraying the superhero Wonder Woman in the 1975 TV series. Her stunning beauty and charisma brought the character to life, inspiring generations. Beyond her acting career, Linda stood out as a producer and singer, showcasing her versatility. She was married to Robert Altman for over 35 years and is also known for her activism and support for various social causes. Raquel Welch captivated audiences in the 1970s with her portrayal of the charming Constance Bonacieux in The Three Musketeers in 1973. Her graceful and charismatic performance earned her a Golden Globe, but it was her unparalleled beauty that made her a true symbol of sensuality, leaving an indelible mark on cinema. Christie Brinkley, with her luminous beauty and contagious smile, became one of the most iconic supermodels of the 1980s. She graced the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition 3 years in a row, an unprecedented achievement, and stood out as the face of global brands. In addition to modeling, she shone as an actress in National Lampoon's Vacation and later dedicated herself to environmental activism and social causes. Joanne Woodward, with her serene beauty and exceptional talent, made her mark in Hollywood during the 1950s and 1960s. Her brilliant performance in The Three Faces of Eve earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress at the time, establishing her as one of the most talented performers of her generation. Christina Applegate captivated audiences in the 1980s and 1990s as the irreverent Kelly Bundy in the series Married with Children, where her charm and comedic talent stole the scene. In addition to shining on TV, she excelled in films like Sweet Home Alabama and Anchorman, showing her versatility as an actress. With her delicate beauty and captivating charisma, Shelley Fabares won over audiences during the 1960s as both an actress and singer. She starred alongside Elvis Presley in Girl Happy, solidifying her status as a star, while her hit song Johnny Angel topped the charts. Later, she reinvented herself on television, starring in the series Coach during the 1980s and 1990s. Susie Parker, born on October 28, 1932 in New York, became one of the first supermodels and a talented actress. She shone in films like Funny Face in 1957, The Best of Everything in 1959, and Circle of Deception in 1960, where her elegance and captivating presence stood out. Beyond her success on screen and in fashion, she experienced a personal life marked by 3 marriages, including one to actor Bradford Dillman. Catherine Deneuve stood out as one of the greatest icons of French cinema, with her hypnotic beauty and elegant sensuality, starring in classics like The Umbrellas of Cherbourg in 1964 and Belle de Jour in 1967. An interesting fact is that Catherine was the official face of Marianne, the symbol of the French Republic, for a significant period. Cindy Crawford, with her iconic beauty and signature mark, the famous beauty spot above her lip, became one of the most influential supermodels of the 1990s. A star of global campaigns for brands like Pepsi and Versace, she helped redefine fashion and style standards. In addition to her successful runway career, Cindy expanded her influence into business and philanthropy, proving that her impact goes far beyond fashion. Kelly LeBrock became an icon of the 1980s by starring in films like The Woman in Red and Weird Science. Combining charm and sensuality, she captivated the audience and solidified her place as one of the era's muses. Beyond her career in film, Kelly also made her mark as a model, becoming the face of iconic campaigns. Angie Dickinson, with her unmistakable charisma, became one of Hollywood's most iconic stars during the 1950s and 1960s. She stood out in films like The Sons of Katie Elder and Rio Bravo, leaving her mark in dramas and westerns. Her role in the TV series Policewoman made her one of the first women to lead a police procedural series. With her breathtaking beauty, Ursula Andress became a global icon when she portrayed Honey Rider in Dr. No, 1962, making history as the first Bond girl. The scene of her emerging from the sea in a white bikini remains one of the most iconic moments in cinema. In addition to her impact on James Bond, Ursula also shone in films like Clash of the Titans, further solidifying her status as an international star and symbol of elegance and sensuality. Jane Russell, with her hypnotic beauty and unmistakable charisma, shone as one of Hollywood's greatest stars in the 1940s and 1950s. In The Outlaw in 1943, her daring performance transformed her into a symbol of sensuality for the era. In 1953, alongside Marilyn Monroe in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Jane displayed impeccable comedic talent as Dorothy Shaw, a witty and confident woman who stole scenes with her vibrant presence. Off-screen, she devoted herself to activism, founding an international adoption organization. In this photo, Anne Margaret, the unforgettable Swedish goddess, showcases the vibrant energy and beauty that defined her in the 1960s and 1970s. A star of Viva Las Vegas alongside Elvis Presley, she conquered Hollywood as an actress, singer, and dancer. Additionally, she was a passionate motorcyclist and amazed fans with her incredible motorcycle performances. Mara Corday, with her breathtaking beauty and magnetic presence, stood out as one of the most fascinating stars of 1950s cinema. She shone in sci-fi and horror classics like Tarantula in 1955 and The Black Scorpion in 1957. Decades later, her enduring friendship with Clint Eastwood brought her back to the screen with special appearances in films like The Gauntlet in 1977. With an angelic face and captivating talent, Lorella De Luca illuminated Italian cinema during the 1950s and 1960s. She stood out in films like Bread, Love and Dreams, where her natural charm captivated audiences, and in spaghetti western productions directed by her husband, Duccio Tessari. With unparalleled elegance and exceptional talent, Diana Rigg left her mark as a 1960s icon. As Emma Peel in The Avengers, she redefined the image of the strong and sophisticated woman on television. In the 1970s, she impressed audiences by portraying Countess Teresa di Vincenzo in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Decades later, she captivated viewers once again as Olenna Tyrell in Game of Thrones. Carrie Fisher became a cultural icon by portraying Princess Leia in the Star Wars saga, marking generations with her charisma and beauty. In addition to acting, she was a talented writer known for works like Postcards from the Edge, where she humorously and honestly addressed topics such as mental health and addiction. Carrie left a lasting legacy, combining talent, courage, and authenticity in everything she did. Barbara Eden, with her captivating beauty and enchanting smile, mesmerized generations by bringing to life the unforgettable Jeannie in the series I Dream of Jeannie during the 1960s and 1970s. As a testament to her enduring television legacy, she received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1988. Capucine, with her sophisticated beauty and undeniable talent, captivated audiences as one of the most elegant figures in cinema. Known for her memorable roles in The Pink Panther and Walk on the Wild Side, she left a lasting impression on her generation. Despite her glamorous career, her life faced moments of sadness, culminating in her tragic death in Lausanne, Switzerland, in 1990. Alexandra Bastedo, born on March 9, 1946, in Hove, England, was an actress best known for her role in the series The Champions in 1968 and films like Casino Royale in 1967 and Batman Begins in 2005. Beyond her acting career, she dedicated herself to animal rights, founding a sanctuary that helped countless species. Her life, which ended on January 12, 2014, left a legacy of talent and compassion. Yvonne Craig, with her vibrant beauty and charismatic presence, stood out during the 1960s in films like It Happened at the World's Fair, alongside Elvis Presley. Her talent in comedies and musicals made her one of the most captivating actresses of her generation. With a graceful presence and mesmerizing talent, Barbara Hancock stood out as a multifaceted artist in the 1960s. In Finian's Rainbow, her dancing skills added magic and emotion to the film, captivating audiences. Before her film career, she charmed Broadway stages, solidifying her status as an unforgettable figure who seamlessly combined dance and acting. With her dazzling beauty and elegant presence, Marguerite Chapman became one of Hollywood's most enchanting stars of the 1940s and 1950s. She stood out in films like Flight to Mars, adding grace to the sci-fi genre. During World War II, she notably supported troop morale campaigns, using her charisma and influence to promote patriotic causes. In this photo, Bobbi Brown exudes the charisma and sensuality that made her an icon of the 1990s. A model and music video star, she became immortalized in Warrant's Cherry Pie, symbolizing glam rock. In her autobiography, Bobbi revealed a striking curiosity. She declined an invitation to go out with Leonardo DiCaprio during the time of Titanic. Dawn Wells, with her sweet beauty and captivating charisma, became an iconic figure as Mary Ann Summers in the 1960s series Gilligan's Island. Her character, with her simplicity and charm, won over generations of fans, making her a symbol of the girl next door. Beyond acting, Dawn dedicated herself to philanthropic work and maintained a warm connection with her fans, cementing her place as one of America's most beloved television stars. With a striking gaze that captivated screens, Stella Stevens became one of the great names in Hollywood during the 1960s and 1970s. She shone in classics like The Nutty Professor and The Poseidon Adventure, charming with her charisma and beauty. Early in her career as a model, she was named one of the most promising stars of 1960 by the Golden Globe New Star of the Year award. Kirstie Alley, with her striking beauty and unique magnetism, shone brightly during the 1980s and 1990s in Cheers and Look Who's Talking. Despite facing personal challenges, such as drug addiction in her youth, she reinvented herself, and her elegance combined with her irresistible charm made her an unforgettable Hollywood icon. With hypnotic beauty and arresting talent, Inger Stevens became one of Hollywood's most fascinating stars during the 1950s and 1960s. She shone in films like The World, The Flesh and the Devil, and in the series The Farmer's Daughter, where her dramatic prowess captivated audiences. Despite her success, Inger's personal life remained shrouded in mystery, including a secret marriage to Ike Jones, the first black graduate of UCLA's film school. Yolande Bet-Bez, crowned Miss America in 1951, revolutionized the pageant by refusing to pose in a swimsuit. Her stance challenged traditional norms and initiated significant changes in the role of women in beauty contests. Additionally, she dedicated herself to activism, supporting the civil rights movement and feminism. Diana Dors, with her unique beauty and magnetic personality, was Britain's answer to Marilyn Monroe in the 1950s. She shone in films like The Million-Pound Note and Yield to the Night, combining sensuality with impressive dramatic talent. Diana was also known for her extravagant parties attended by Hollywood stars, cementing her status as a glamour icon. Jennifer Jason Leigh, with her combination of singular beauty and unmatched talent, made her name in Hollywood as one of the most versatile actresses of her generation. During the 1980s and 1990s, she captivated audiences in films like The Hitcher, 1986, and Single White Female, 1992. Delivering intense and compelling performances. Erin Gray stood out as one of the biggest TV stars in the 1980s. She portrayed the fearless Commander Wilma Deering in Buck Rogers in the 25th century, marking generations with her charm and independence. Before fame, Erin was a renowned model, solidifying her image as an icon of style and sophistication both on and off the screen. Annette Vadim stood out as an actress during the 1950s and 1960s, especially in the film Les Amants de Montparnasse. As a muse and wife of director Roger Vadim, she captivated with both sensuality and talent. A remarkable fact was her role as one of the most photographed women of her era, symbolizing the perfect fusion of art, fashion, and cinema. Natalie Wood, star of West Side Story in 1961 and This Property is Condemned in 1966, shone with her talent and beauty. However, she faced personal battles during the 1970s and early 1980s, including increased alcohol consumption and anxiety. In 1981, a night of drinking on a yacht ended tragically when her body was found the following day, the victim of drowning. Janet Munro shone as one of the most promising stars of British cinema during the 1950s and 1960s. In films like Darby O'Gill and The Little People in the Sky Above, she captivated audiences with her engaging talent and unique charisma. Her delicate, unforgettable beauty, combined with her natural charm, immortalized her presence in film history. In this photo, Elaine Stewart showcases the elegance and charm that made her a star of 1950s cinema. In films like The Greatest Show on Earth and The Adventures of Haji Baba, her presence consistently captivated audiences. Later, during the 1970s, she surprised fans by bringing her charisma to television as the host of game shows, proving her talent extended beyond the Hollywood screen. Lana Turner made her mark on Hollywood with a beauty that earned her the title, the Sweater Girl. A star of memorable films like Out of the past, she stood out as a symbol of 1940s and 1950s glamour. A lesser-known curiosity is that she was discovered by chance in a Los Angeles soda fountain at the age of 16. Michelle Pfeiffer, with her captivating beauty and incomparable talent, emerged as one of Hollywood's greatest stars in the 1980s. She shone in iconic roles like Elvira Hancock in Scarface and the mysterious Catwoman in Batman Returns. Her charisma and versatility cemented a successful career that spanned decades, making her a reference of elegance in acting and cinema. Patty Chandler, with her youthful spirit and enchanting beauty, stood out as one of the stars of beach films during the 1960s. Known for her roles in productions like Beach Blanket Bingo, she captivated the public with her marked presence. Besides her presence on screen, Patty became famous for representing the relaxed lifestyle of the time, becoming an emblematic face of adolescent cinema in that decade. Janet Leigh, with her hypnotic beauty and remarkable talent, became one of Hollywood's greatest names. Her performance in Psycho, especially in the iconic shower scene, revolutionized the suspense genre. Interestingly, she shared the screen with her daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, in Halloween H20, uniting generations of stars in an unforgettable legacy. In this photo, Monica Dietrich, a star of the 1960s, exudes the charm that established her in runways like Paris and Milan, and in prestigious magazine editorials such as Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. Her magnetic presence defined an era, but at the height of her fame, she left fashion to dedicate herself to environmental activism, transforming her life legacy. Doris Day, with her radiant beauty and unmistakable charm, shone brightly in Hollywood during the 1950s and 1960s. In Pillow Talk, she portrayed Jan Morrow, a character that combined intelligence, humor, and a touch of elegance, solidifying her place as one of the most beloved actresses of her generation. Eva Marie Saint captivated audiences with her refined beauty and memorable performances that left an indelible mark on cinema. She shone alongside Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront, a role that earned her an Academy Award, and charmed as the enigmatic spy in Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. A remarkable fact is her career spanning more than 7 decades, where she remained both relevant and admired. In this photo, Carol Landis radiates the enchanting beauty that made her one of Hollywood's brightest stars of the 1940s. She shone in films like My Gal Sal and Four Jills in a Jeep, captivating audiences with her talent. A notable curiosity is that Carol was nicknamed the Armed Forces Sweetheart for her tireless efforts entertaining troops during World War II. Julie Christie, with her radiant beauty and exceptional talent, became one of the most emblematic actresses of British cinema in the 1960s. She shone in films like Darling, for which she won the Academy Award, and Dr. Zhivago, solidifying her status as one of the most beloved international stars of her time. Zsa Zsa Gabor, with her hypnotizing beauty and unparalleled elegance, shone in films like Moulin Rouge, 1952, and Lily, 1953. However, it was her life outside of the screen that made her a true icon. Her 9 marriages attracted worldwide attention, as well as her witty remarks about love and luxury. Amid glamorous parties and scandalous headlines, Zsa Zsa became immortalized as the embodiment of charm and glamour in the 20th century. Virna Lisi, with her classic beauty and extraordinary talent, was one of the most respected actresses in Italian and international cinema. She shone in films like Casanova 70 and How to Murder Your Wife alongside Jack Lemmon, winning over audiences with her versatility. A significant aspect of her career was her refusal to be reduced to just superficial roles, as she returned to Europe and won awards like the César for La Reine Margot, proving she was an artist of great depth and elegance. Michelle Phillips, with her stunning beauty and hypnotic voice, became an icon of the 1960s as a member of the legendary band The Mamas and the Papas. Classics like California Dreamin' and Monday immortalized not only her music, but also her unmistakable charm. Transitioning to film, she dazzled in films like Dillinger, proving that her elegance and talent went far beyond the stage, establishing her as a timeless symbol of glamour. Lisa Jack exuded a unique charisma and natural beauty that made her stand out in European cinema during the 1950s and 1960s. Although she mainly appeared in smaller productions, her captivating presence and authentic performances won over the audience. Although little known outside of Europe, she is considered by classic cinema fans as a symbol of charm and sensuality, perfectly representing the elegance of her era. With her classic beauty and remarkable presence, Maren Jensen became an unforgettable name when she portrayed Lieutenant Athena in Battlestar Galactica. The role captivated science fiction fans and cemented her image as a genre icon. However, despite her rising career, she chose to step away from the spotlight, adopting a discreet life, but the legacy of her acting and her unmistakable beauty continues to inspire fans of the cult classic. Mamie Van Doren, with her exuberant beauty and bold attitude, became one of Hollywood's most iconic blondes in the 1950s and 1960s. She stood out in films like Teachers Today and The Girls of the Calendar, where her charm and sensuality captivated the audience. A significant fact was her refusal to limit herself to conventional roles, adopting a stance of independence that made her a symbol of audacity in an era of rigid standards. Charlotte Rampling, born on February 5, 1946, in Essex, England, is known for her enigmatic beauty and intense performances. She stood out in films like 45 Years, Swimming Pool, and Melancholia, receiving international acclaim. An icon of European cinema, she shone in challenging roles such as in The Night Porter, where she explored the emotional complexities of a provocative narrative, reaffirming her depth as an actress who transcended her sensuality. Anouk Aimée, with her enigmatic beauty and exceptional talent, became an icon of European cinema. She shone in films such as La Dolce Vita and A Man and a Woman, the latter earning her an Academy Award nomination. Known for her dramatic intensity, she won accolades such as the BAFTA and Golden Globe. Anouk's career was marked by roles reflecting complex women, solidifying her as one of the greatest stars of French cinema.